An exciting fight between a couple of fighters trending in the absolute wrong direction. We have Cowboy Alex Oliveira, a walking bonus, taking on fellow walking bonus Niko the Hybrid Price, coming at us from Syndicate Boxing Club and ATT. What is it? Not Coral Gables.
Cape Coral.
Cape Coral. There we go. Not Coral Gables. But Matt, for Niko Price, the 5-on-in is sketchy and weird, so let's go through it. He loses to Jeff Neal by knockout. He beats James Vick by knockout, which was insane. He loses to Vicente Luque a second time. Then he has the fight that's a draw against Cerrone, then it's a no contest. And then he loses to Michel Pereira his last time out. And for Alex Oliveira, loses to Dalby almost 2 years ago because he fights every other weekend. He loses to Max Griffin by split. He beats Peter Sabata.
He beat Max Griffin.
Yeah, he beat Max Griffin. He lost to Shavkat Rakhmonov in a fight that was over in the blink of an eye. And he lost to Randy Brown in Randy Brown's coming out party. And Randy's had a lot of them, but a single arm guillotine choke, like that was insane. And from Alex Oliveira and then from Niko Price, to me, Niko Price has been halfway competitive in his fights. Alex Oliveira in those last two, and I like Shavkat Rakhmonov, and I like Randy Brown more than most people do. He didn't look good.
That's not true. He looked good against Randy Brown until he got hit by one right hand and submitted. He was leg kicking Randy Brown. He was beating him up at range. I don't think Alex Oliveira has looked that bad. The issue is he's taken too much damage throughout his career. We know Alex Oliveira for getting into crazy fights, and that's great. You make a lot of bonus money. You get a lot of fans doing that. There is a negative, though, and it means that the longevity of your career will be cut short, and that's what is happening with Alex Oliveira. He just can't eat damage the way he used to, because honestly, the first 4 minutes against Randy Brown, he's doing well. He's landing a calf kick. He's at long range. Randy Brown is having a very tough time landing on Alex Oliveira. But when he lands one clean shot, it rocks Oliveira, and then that's the beginning of the end, and it all happens so fast. I just think Alex Oliveira has lost his durability, and that was one of the few things that kind of set him apart from most other guys. Like, you could hit him with a sledgehammer, he'd drop, but he'd get right back up and keep on coming forwards. I do think that crazy Yancy Medeiros fight was finally kind of enough for Alex Oliveira and his damage pendulum. Like, against Oliveira, he drops Oliveira 3 times and that's great, but he gets his nose broke, and then he gets that broken nose hit over and over and over. And that fight wasn't really a knockout loss. It was the definition of a TKO loss. Like, he goes down from the damage and then the ref stops it because his face was so badly beat. I just don't think we've ever seen the same fighter since then.
And then he fights Gunnar Nelson, and that was disgusting.
Exactly. A clean elbow from Mount into a rear naked choke. It's just, with the scar tissue, with the lack of a chin now, and the way that Alex Oliveira fights, I do worry about him getting into those crazy, like, gunslinger type draws against someone like Niko Price, because Niko Price is still pretty durable. I know he got knocked out by Vicente Luque, but, like, Luque hit him with overhands.
And Jeff Neal.
Overhands and overhands. And Jeff Neal landed a bunch of straight shots and a head kick. So, like, if you're going to lose by knockout to anybody, it's probably good to lose to Jeff Neal and Vicente Luque. The thing I will say, this is a weird fight. I think Alex Oliveira can actually win rounds in this fight, and that's the first time he's been able to say that in a while. Because Niko Price fights for the high volume, but he can get outworked. It's happened in the past. Even Cowboy Cerrone, at some points throughout their fight, was able to outwork Niko Price. But what Niko Price still has is his durability. He can still eat one shot to give one shot, and that's where I worry about Cowboy Oliveira. I keep on wanting to call him Cowboy Cerrone. That's what I worry about Oliveira, because...
I worry about it with both of them.
Yeah, but when Oliveira is going to get into those 50-50 striking exchanges, the ones in which he thrived in back in 2016, that's where he gets hurt now. And with Niko Price, he doesn't have crazy pop at the end of his shots. Even when he was marching down Michel Pereira at the end of their fight, like, he was landing clean, but it wasn't really enough to fold Pereira the way that you'd like it. So I think this is a really close fight. I think that this probably will be the fight of the night by the end of it, but it's a weird fight when Alex Oliveira can win it by decision.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. You talk about the pendulum of damage, and I mean, I don't know where the human weeble wobble that is Alex Oliveira. It's definitely not standing straight up.
He's been burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, that much is true, but for Niko Price, yeah, it's weird. I mean, I think of both of these fighters in my mind's eye, and you might look at it in terms of the stats. I mean, Niko Price actually weighed 1.5 pounds less than Alex Oliveira when they weighed in for their last fights. But Niko Price is a welterweight. He's a big welterweight, too. And Alex Oliveira is a guy that spent some time at 155. Obviously, he depleted himself, and that's why we find him here. But it's something that you have to consider. So I'm eager to see these guys when they do hit the scale. But yeah, I look at the odds for this one, and maybe it's a little bit of a surprise. The odds are fairly close. They open at par. Niko Price minus 152 favorite right now. For Alex Oliveira, again, plus 125 or thereabouts. And when we look at the overall Tapology votes, 848 of them, 85% Price, 61% by knockout, 25% by decision. You look at the 15% that have Oliveira, 43% by decision, 22% by submission, 26% by knockout. I like that call. I mean, Alex Oliveira, maybe you like him by decision to win this one. I like Niko Price in this fight, though. Again, the physicality. You talk about the damage. Both guys have been finished, and both guys have a couple of no contests on their records, but I like Price in this one.
This is a hard fight to pick. It really is, because I could see Alex Oliveira landing those calf kicks that were having great success against Randy Brown, against Niko Price early, and then Niko Price isn't able to really move forward with a lot of his strikes, and Oliveira could just kind of wait on the outside and pick him apart. I could see that version of the fight. But if this is the fight of the night, and we both think it will be, then I think he's going to end up getting finished by Niko Price. I do think they're going to get into some of those 50-50 exchanges where both guys are throwing 2, 3, 4 strikes. And I think eventually one of those big hooks are going to land from Niko Price and probably finish Oliveira.
Both of us going with Cape Coral Gables, the hybrid, Niko Price to get the win. Big time co-main event coming up. And hey, before we get there, let us know down below in the comments section who you have in this fight. But yeah, Kevin Holland's taking on Kyle Dawkins, Chris's brother. And in the main event, we have a big one, Thiago Santos, Johnny Walker. So keep locked in with Fight Night Picks. We always say, let's get into it.